Namaste everyone, my name is Pranav Anand, and in this session I'm going to talk about the interface between intellectual property right and information technology. Now people talk a lot in the information technology business about intellectual property rights, but what are they and how do they apply on software technology? Why should you protect them and how do you protect them? So intellectual property rights are at the foundation of software industry. The term refers to a range of intangible property of ownership in an asset such as software program. Each intellectual property rights in itself an asset. So a slice of overall ownership pie, right? The law provides different methods for protecting these rights of ownership based on their type. So what is intellectual property right? Now let's break these three words. Intellectual means intangible, what you can only perceive, what you cannot see, but you know it's there. That's intellectual. Now comes property. Property is bundle of rights, right? So if I have this if I have this property with me, I can sell it, I can put it on rent, I can give it on lease, I can do a number of things with this kind of property. So a property comes with various form of rights. So property is bundle of rights. Now come the terms rights. Rights means legal interest which are backed up by state. Not every interest is a right. Not every interest is right. So if I have interest in eating ice cream today, that's not legal interest. So legal interest is something backed up by law. A right are legal interests that are something backed up by law. Now let's try to put the idea of intellectual property rights within the ambit of information technology. Now information technology and IPR are heavily dependent on each other. Now various methods of information technology are intangible, they can only perceive and they have to have get their monopoly rights over that technology, and most of internet information technologies operate on software. So how to get intellectual property over software? Now there are essentially four types of intellectual property rights relevant to software. So patents, copyrights, trade secrets, and trademarks. Now each afford a different type of legal protection. Patents, copyrights, and trade secrets can be used to protect the technology itself. Trademarks do not protect technology but the names or symbols used to distinguish a product in the marketplace. So, for example, if Google has certain form of font, certain form of colors, certain form of design, no one else can copy or use same kind of things. So the application of information technology has been explained or expanded or extended to every society in the world. It has a strong connection and association with many areas such as business, engineering, science, education, healthcare, arts, public administration. And now see students of for all from all ages are exposed to the internet and online information at various levels from KG to even PhD and after PhD. So a part of their daily lives relies on social networking and cloud computing services for connecting with friends and taking advantage of online services for learning. So this is also happening on information technology. With mobile technology becoming very common and accessible, the population of and activity in the cyber world will continue to grow tremendously. Now, with the growth of cyber world, the level of cybercrime will continue to increase and poses a serious threat to online users now and in the future. And one of the major threat is intellectual property rights theft. So the limitations of the current law system, which vary between various countries, create a real challenge in formulating any solution to combat cybercrime. In addition, the protection of intellectual property rights, such as such as copyright and freedom of expression issues are critical issues in the cyber world. The future challenge of how to protect intellectual property from violation, both in the real world and the cyber world, requires further efforts in the ongoing research. Now, let's come to computer software. And computer software is expensive to develop but relatively easy to copy. Conditions that make it highly vulnerable to infringement of intellectual property rights. So the issue is how to protect computer softwares first. Now, the Office of Technological Assessment (OTA) has done a major study of implications of information related technologies for intellectual property rights. And intellectual property issues surrounds new biotechnology have been subject to study done for Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development and were covered in Office of Technology Assessment and subsequent OTA report acted on in the United States, where protracted debate and many studies considered such alternatives as patents, copyright, and sui generis intellectual property rights. The proponents of copyright protection for computer software argue that it is simply another form of writing brought about technical change, as were sound recordings and motion pictures. The proponents of patent protection argue that mental and financial efforts required to produce software and functional uses of software more closely resemble inventive activity rather than artistic creation or literary creation, and thus patents are more appropriate analogy. Still, some argue for third approach, that is sui generis protection. Now, they want to provide a unique form of protection for IPRs in computer program, which might possibly have characteristics of both copyright and patent law. And in the United States, the debate resulted in the decision to protect computer software primarily under copyright laws. In 1980, the Copyright Act of 1976 in US was amended explicitly to grant copyright protection for software. The United States also has been encouraging other nations to protect computer software under copyright law. An important question remains, however, about the adequacy of copyright protection because of fundamental limitations of copyright, which protects the form of expression of an idea but not the idea itself. So perhaps for this reason, the precise nature of protection of computer programs is still not certain in some countries. Let's take, for example, India. In India, also, when computer software results in substantial change, brings a substantial change, then only it can be protected under patents, so to speak. Now comes patents. Now, a patent is a 20-year exclusive monopoly on the right to make, use, and sell qualifying invention. This legal monopoly is considered a reward for the time and effort expended in creating the invention. In return, the invention must be described in detail to the patent office, which publishes the information, thus increases the amount of technological knowledge available to the public. Now, to obtain a US patent, basically an inventor must apply to patent office and demonstrate that invention is new, useful, and non-obvious. That is also the standard in India. An invention is non-obvious if it is more than a trivial, obvious next step in advance of the technology. In India, method to get intellectual property is on the basis of patents a bit of tricky because it's a more complex process than that of US. Now, software patents can be extremely powerful economic tool. They can protect features of a program that cannot be protected under copyright or trade secret law. So for example, patents can be obtained for ideas in systems, methods, algorithms, and functions embodied in the software product. Editing functions, user interface, features, compiling techniques, operating system techniques, program algorithms, menu arrangements, display presentations and arrangements and programs, language translation methods. All of these can be protected within the ambit of patent, which makes patent a very, very powerful economic tool when it comes to software protection and intellectual property protection. So, since patent rights are exclusive, anyone making, using, or selling the patented invention without the patent's owner authorization is guilty of intellectual property theft. And penalties are stiff and include triple damage. Once a patent for an invention is granted, subsequent independent development of the invention by another inventor is still considered infringement. So if at all I do I do create a new technology which is like similar to the existing technology, though I'm innocent, I will still be called that process will still be called a theft of intellectual property right. Now, with unlike patent, copyright protects only the expression and not the idea. And copyright protection extends to a particular form in which an idea is expressed. And in case of software, copyright law would protect the source and the object code, as well as certain unique original element in the user interface. So, copyright protection arises automatically upon the creation of an original work of authorship, and there is no need to apply for a copyright or register the copyrighted work in order to protect protection to exist, right? Generally the duration of a copyright is the author's life plus 60 years or 70 years. In the case of software created by an employee in the course of his or her employment, the resulting work made for hire would be protected by copyright law for 75 years from publication. Now, in contrast with patents, independent developments of copyright work is a defense to an allegation of copyright infringement. Imagine how unlikely it would be for the same thousands of lines of code to be created independently by one not engaged in unauthorized copy. Ideas and concepts are fair game for competitors to the extent they are not protected by patents and trade secrets. Now comes to trade secret. A trade secret is any formula, pattern, compound, device, process, tool, or mechanism that is not generally known or discoverable by others and is maintained in a secrecy by its owner and gives its owner a competitive advantage because it is kept secret. The classic example of a trade secret is the formula of Coca-Cola. Now, a trade secret can theoretically last forever for as long as its owner uses reasonable efforts to keep it secret and someone else doesn't independently create or discover it. Now, many features of software such as code and ideas and concepts reflected in it and that can be protected as trade secrets. Now, this protection lasts as long as the protected element retains its trade secret status. Unlike patent, trade secret protection will not extend to elements of software that are readily ascertainable by lawful means such as reverse engineering and independent developments. And trade secrets are also not subject to being infringed as with patents and copyright, but are subject to theft. Their legal status as protectable intellectual property will be upheld if the owner can prove that a trade secret was not generally known and reasonable steps were taken to preserve its secrecy. Now, maximizing the economic value of a software assets critically depends on the understanding of the nature of intellectual property rights involved and how best to use the available forms of legal protection to protect these rights. Now, the role of IPR in information and communication technologies. Now, it is only the role of IPR in the information and communication technologies. The whole politics of intellectual property is to get hold over the information technologies. Right, Professor McCarthy, while addressing the United States, stated that United Saudi has geographical resources, Brazil has geographical resources, but what do we have? Information. So we must get hold the information and use it as our property. So the last 2 decades of 20th century saw an intense debate on several intellectual property rights on international fora, while developing countries were arguing for lesser level of patents protection in diplomatic conferences on the revision of Paris Convention. The developed countries were successful in introducing a move under multilateral trade negotiations of Uruguay round, which would eventually strengthen patent protection and other intellectual property rights. Now, this process resulted in the agreement on trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights under the auspices of World Trade Organization. Now, many developing countries are still in the process of implementation of TRIPS agreement, which required them, among other, to strengthen their patent system as well as to introduce new IPR such as geographical indications and layout designs. India is at par with any developed country on when it comes to application of TRIPS agreement in its subordinate legislation. Be that as it may, the last 2 decades of 20th century have also witnessed a remarkable communication revolution. The early 1980s witnessed rapid change in telecommunication as well as computer industries. While the birth of personal computers started the computer revolution, rapid technological developments took into place of telecommunication. Now, copyright and neighboring rights are important for copyright software and for the internet. Layout designs are of relevance to semiconductor industries, and today you cannot imagine the world without intellectual property and the interface of them with the current legislation. So intellectual property rights are obviously very essential to maintain this revolution of information technology. Now with this we have come to end of this session, and in the upcoming session we will talk about broadcasting laws.